top stars and the network behind them. According to insiders, things are unraveling behind the scenes, shake ABC's media empire to its core, even as Whoopi Goldberg was already dealing with an $800 million lawsuit. Whoopi, who has been at the center of this legal storm, every word. They were linking the comments to evidence already submitted to court, and that's exactly what happened. Reputational harm and efforts to damage her career. And this from a media law professor a similar. The View is being described as tense and divided. And hearings, with one senior producer slamming documents on the table and shouting, "This is what happened" mode. But this time, that silence belongs to Karoline. Twitch posting live streams with attorneys, PR pros, and media and biggest names in media can fall. The question now: should ABC pull the plug before The View takes the whole network?
That's right. There is so much good news, so much winning out of the Trump White House right now that the mainstream legacy media can't keep up with it.
Just when it seemed things couldn't get any more intense, Karoline Leavitt has filed a second lawsuit against The View and ABC, throwing the network into crisis mode. Whoopi Goldberg is reportedly under pressure. Joy Behar is visibly upset. And even Sunny Hostin has gone quiet, which speaks volumes. But this isn't just online gossip. This is a serious legal move, lawsuit number 2, taking direct aim at the show's top stars and the network behind them. According to insiders, things are unraveling behind the scenes. Cast and crew are said to be holding emergency meetings, trying to manage the fallout. Sponsors are already pulling away, and ABC executives are deeply concerned, calling it a major blow to the network's reputation. This time, Karoline didn't just make claims, she came prepared with evidence. So what exactly did she reveal, and how did one legal document shake ABC's media empire to its core?
Joy Behar calls her a 10. I mean, how dare she objectify a woman with a rating system, but it's such a typical thing from a 1.5.
Well said.
Well, just 72 hours ago, The View aired another episode, even as Whoopi Goldberg was already dealing with an $800 million lawsuit. You'd think the show would take a more careful approach, maybe offer an apology or simply play it safe. But that didn't happen. Instead, the hosts leaned into the controversy, live on national television, without holding back. Rather than stepping back, they openly took jabs at Karoline Leavitt again. Joy Behar made the first remark, referring to Karoline as Trump's Gen Z talking head, sparking laughter from the audience. The panel appeared to be in on the moment with nods and smiles. Then Sunny Hostin weighed in, dismissing the lawsuit as a staged political move by the GOP. And finally, Whoopi, who has been at the center of this legal storm, made a subtle but pointed comment. She's lucky we even let her on the show. That moment lit up Karoline's legal team. While it played out like entertainment on screen, behind the scenes her lawyers were carefully documenting everything, every line, every reaction, every word. They were linking the comments to evidence already submitted to court. What the show framed as casual banter turned into critical material for a new legal filing. And that's exactly what happened. Karoline Leavitt's team filed a second lawsuit, this time in federal court, with even more force behind it. This wasn't just about defamation anymore. It was about retaliation. According to the filing, instead of showing restraint while already under legal scrutiny, the hosts intensified their attacks, on purpose and in front of a national audience. The new lawsuit lays everything out in clear legal terms, stating, the show's conduct was intentional, damaging, and aimed at discrediting Karoline during an ongoing legal process. Claims include harmful repetition of false statements, reputational harm, and efforts to damage her career. And this time, her legal team didn't come empty-handed. They brought legal experts, academic citations, and even a quote from a media law professor who said ABC's defense is so weak, it might not even make it to trial. Experts in law and media ethics were also cited, all echoing a similar view. They couldn't believe what they'd seen. For a network already dealing with a serious lawsuit, continuing to make such remarks was called shockingly unwise. Now, Hollywood insiders are buzzing. Rumors are circulating that this could be Whoopi Goldberg's final season, and she may not even know it yet. At ABC, things are reportedly in disarray. Legal teams are overwhelmed, PR staff are scrambling, and advertisers are quietly backing out. That first lawsuit now looks like only the beginning, because this second one has struck even harder. Insiders say the atmosphere at ABC headquarters has shifted dramatically. The set of The View is being described as tense and divided. And here's the twist. Karoline didn't escalate things. The hosts did. The very people who dismissed her concerns on air are now facing a growing crisis. Within just 48 hours of the second lawsuit being filed, everything started unraveling behind the scenes. This wasn't just quiet concern, it was chaos. Producers, who usually maintain order, were reportedly angry, not with Karoline, but with the show's hosts. Their frustration boiled over in meetings, with one senior producer slamming documents on the table and shouting, "This is what happens when no one listens." The tension was everywhere. Staff described the mood as heavy, with everyone expecting something to break. And considering the stakes, ABC's credibility, audience trust, and millions in ad revenue, it's not hard to understand why.
So it is the belief of this White House and the White House counsel's office that the president was within his executive authority to do that. He is the executive of the executive branch, and therefore he has the power to fire anyone within the executive branch that he wishes to. There's also a case that went before the Supreme Court in 2020, Scala Law LLC versus the Customs, Bureau Protection. I would advise you to look at that case, and that's the legality that this White House is wrestling.
Internal memo, leaked like a ticking time bomb, confirmed by two independent sources. The document spread like wildfire. Slack threads exploded, studio whispers turned into roars, and the memo ruthlessly clear. We asked the panel to avoid inflammatory comments on this case, but they didn't listen. That one line sums up everything. ABC didn't stumble into this mess. They saw it coming. They gave a warning, but Joy cracked jokes. Sonny brushed it off. And Whoopi, she smirked, right into a lawsuit nightmare. Now, ABC's in meltdown mode, sponsors jumping ship, lawyers clocking overtime, producers ripping through transcripts, emails, and camera footage like they're bracing for a federal indictment. And the vibe on set? Toxic. Tense. Terrified. One burned-out staffer put it bluntly. "We used to laugh about lawsuits. Now we're Googling severance packages. This isn't panic, it's survival." Inside sources say ABC is pulling the plug internal. Budgets, frozen, segment development, canceled, promo campaigns, shelved, security, doubled. Not for physical threats, but for the rage, emails, tweets, protest calls, the phone lines, lit up like a Christmas tree. Even longtime fans, the diehards, are out. One viral post nailed it. "This show used to fight for truth. Now it's just canceling anyone who disagrees." Now online petitions are blowing up, demanding Whoopi, Joy, and Sonny be fired. And here's the kicker. They're working. ABC's board is reviewing contracts. And in TV speak, that only means one thing: somebody's getting cut. And Karoline Leavitt? She's dead silent. No interviews, no tweets, no press spin, just pure, tactical quiet. In today's media war, silence is lethal. She's watching, waiting, planning. As The View burns from the inside out, Karoline's not chasing the spotlight. She's letting the empire collapse on its own. And make no mistake, she's not done. For years, major networks buried stories that didn't fit their narrative. For years, silence was their defense. But this time, that silence belongs to Karoline, and it's slicing deeper than any headline. This isn't just a scandal, it's a legal inferno, with not one but two federal lawsuits filed just weeks apart, both aimed directly at The View. And the fallout, it's shaking daytime TV to its foundation. Now the industry's asking tough questions. What counts as free speech? When does it become defamation? And who gets to decide? Even the usual protectors, CNN, MSNBC, the New York Times, are panicking. Reporters are quietly calling legal experts, desperate for answers. Because this isn't tabloid drama. This is precedent setting. Karoline isn't just suing. She's rewriting the playbook. And the way she did it? Strategic, deadly, historic. She waited, watched, then filed a second lawsuit, while the first one was still live. No warning, no noise, just strike. Legal analysts are already saying this case could change everything, not just for TV, but for creators. On YouTube, TikTok, Twitch, podcasts, anyone with a platform. If Karoline wins, the legal bar for reckless disregard for the truth just dropped. And that ripple, it's global. Meanwhile, Twitter has turned into a digital war zone. Receipts everywhere, alliances forming, users digging up years of controversial clips. Hashtags like Karoline Strikes Back, Sue the View, and Justice for Karoline are dominating political feeds. K-Talk? On fire, clips of Whoopi, Joy, and Sunny are getting stitched and fact-checked by creators and lawyers. YouTube? In courtroom mode. Top creators hosting live streams with attorneys, PR pros, and media analysts, breaking down every move like it's the Super Bowl of lawsuits. And here's the truth. This isn't ending anytime soon. Karoline's just getting started.
While I vow to provide the truth from this podium, we ask that all of you in this room hold yourselves to that same standard. We know for a fact there have been lies that have been pushed by many legacy media outlets in this country about this president, about his family, and we will not accept that. We will call you out when we feel that your reporting is wrong or there is misinformation about this White House.
But here's the real shocker. Cracks are showing on the left. Progressive voices, once defenders of the view, are now questioning it. A prominent MSNBC analyst tweeted, "Karoline may be controversial, but she's calling out a media problem we've ignored too long." That tweet went viral. Thousands of retweets and tens of thousands of likes, with hard questions now hitting the mainstream. For years, The View and shows like it operated in a comfy media bubble, throwing shade and making political digs, all under applause and loyal press coverage. But Karoline just popped that bubble. Now the hosts are on the hot seat, facing raw scrutiny, and it's no longer just about her. It's about media ethics, unchecked influence, and the dangerous power of commentary. ABC is now in crisis mode, stuck between three options: suspend Whoopi, Joy, and Sunny temporarily, a PR move that critics say won't fix anything. Settle the lawsuits privately, expensive and humiliating, with no guarantees. Cancel The View entirely and rebrand, but that would be legacy-shattering. Insiders say the damage might already be beyond repair. Sponsors are pulling out, and the ad sales team is in freefall. ABC's once untouchable image is shattered, and Karoline's lawsuits have proven that even the biggest names in media can fall. The question now: did Karoline rewrite the rules of media responsibility? Is this the moment legacy media loses its grip on the narrative? Should ABC pull the plug before The View takes the whole network down? This isn't just about lawsuits anymore. It's a battle for control of the narrative. And Karoline's not just fighting back, she's flipping the script. Stay locked in, stay subscribed. The next Bombshell is already loading.